Reinforcements have arrived. Low power.
Commander. Indeed.
Building. Training. Structure sold. On hold. Training.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Reporting. Right away, sir.
Commander. Indeed. For king and country.
Unit ready. Training.
Commander. Indeed.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Building.
Yes, sir. Commander. Yes, sir. On my way.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Construction complete. EM pulse detected. Unit ready. Building. Building. On hold. Cancel. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
Wait affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Base under attack. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Vehicle reporting. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir.
I hear you. You're fine, Bob.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
I hear you. Yes, sir.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. Knowledge. Vehicle reporting. Waiting order. Vehicle reporting. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Knowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge. Knowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes,
You're
sir.
fine, Bob.
Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
No.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. I hear you. You're fine, Bob. I hear you.
Building. On hold. Building.
Yes, sir.
I hear you. Oh, diggity.
Building. On hold. Cancelled.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Building. Armor
Acknowledge.
cannon ready. Select target. On hold. Cancelled.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
I'll be right back.
New construction
Ready and waiting.
options. Base under attack. Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged. Waiting acknowledged. 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 Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Building.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Your money, Mom.
Vehicle
Construction
reporting.
complete.
Yes, sir. For king and country.
Yes, sir. Waiting orders. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Waiting orders. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building.
Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Training. On hold. Cancel. Training.
Waiting orders.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Select target.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds. Construction complete. Select
Reporting.
target.
Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Acknowledge.
Unit boss.
Affirmative. Report. Acknowledge.
Unit boss.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Waiting. Knowledge. Affirmative. Knowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting orders. Reporting. Affirmative.
Training.
Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir.
Base under
Reporting.
attack.
Yes.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Knowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Knowledge. Knowledge.
Unit
Commander,
boss.
king and country.
Vehicle reporting.
Building.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
King and vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Sir.
Affirmative. Vehicle. Affirmative. 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 Knowledge.
EM pulse detected. Unit boss.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit boss.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Building.
Acknowledge.
On hold. Cancel.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledge.
Unit boss. Unit boss.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Waiting on acknowledge. Affirmative.
On my way.
Engineering.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit boss.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. No. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Engineering affirmative.
Building.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledge.
On hold. Cancel. Building.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Engineering affirmative. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. For king and
Waiting
country.
orders. Affirmative. Reporting.
Base under
Acknowledge. Yes. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
insufficient funds.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Structure sold. Construction complete.
Yes. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Yes. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Ion cannon ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Building.
Acknowledge.
Construction complete. Structure sold. Primary building set. Training.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Training. Select target. Building. Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Reporting.
Construction complete.
Acknowledge.
Training.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Engineering. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting. No. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Reporting.
Lost.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Primary building set. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Structure sold.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Waiting orders. Affirmative.
I hear you. I'll get my ring.
Reporting.
Unit ready.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
ready.
Affirmative. Waiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Insufficient funds. Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Base under attack.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. No. Affirmative. Yes. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Reporting. Acknowledge.
Ready. Building.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Structure sold. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. No, no. Affirmative. 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 Waiting order. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Training.
Affirmative.
On board. Unit
Reporting.
ready.
Yes, sir. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Vehicle. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Yes. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Vehicle yes, reporting. Vehicle acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Waiting. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Waiting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Infiltrator.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Vehicle reporting.
Building.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. For king and country.
On waiting order. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Unit ready.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Report. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Waiting order. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Training.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient funds.
Yes. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Training.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Engineer. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Reporting. Acknowledge.
Knowledge. Affirmative. Engineering. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Vehicle. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Waiting order.
Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Affirmative.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Waiting order. Acknowledge. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building. Training.
Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Training.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
On hold.
Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Commander. For king and country.
New construction options. Building
Vehicle
infiltrator.
acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Base under
Acknowledged.
attack.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Boss.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Awaiting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Awaiting vehicle report. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Waiting orders. Acknowledged.
Select target. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Wait. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Construction.
Affirmative.
New construction options. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Reporting. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Training. Unit ready.
Vehicle report.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Training.
Yes,
Unit
sir.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle reporting.
Engineering. Affirmative.
Vehicle reporting.
Select target.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Building.
Waiting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Building. Unit ready. Training.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Waiting affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Select target. Select target.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Affirmative. Reporting.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle yes, reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Waiting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Waiting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Wait. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Vehicle. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Vehicle. Affirmative. Yes, acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Primary building set. Building. Building. Construction complete. Cannot deploy building. Unit ready. Primary building set. Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
Unit building.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Acknowledge.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative. Awaiting acknowledge. Awaiting order.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete. Building on hold. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Knowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Mission accomplished.